We live in a world that tells us to hustle harder, push faster, and fight relentlessly for everything we want. Society screams that success belongs only to those who burn themselves out in pursuit of their dreams. But what if I told you that the ancient Stoics discovered something completely different? What if the secret to manifesting everything you desire isn't found in frantic action, but in the profound peace of letting go? Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the Roman Empire, wrote in his personal journal, "Confine yourself to the present." He understood that when we stop fighting the current of life and start flowing with it, miracles begin to happen. The Stoics weren't passive dreamers. They were warriors who conquered through wisdom, not force. Think about water for a moment. It doesn't struggle against the rocks in its path. Instead, it flows around them, over them, through them, and eventually it shapes the entire landscape. This is the power of relaxed intention, the ability to hold your desires lightly while trusting the natural order of things to bring them to fruition. When you're constantly stressed about your goals, when you're gripping so tightly to outcomes that your knuckles turn white, you're actually pushing away the very things you want most. Anxiety creates resistance, and resistance blocks the flow of abundance into your life. The Stoics understood that our desperation often becomes the biggest obstacle between us and our dreams. But here's where it gets beautiful. When you truly relax into your desires, when you align with the natural rhythm of existence, you become magnetic to opportunities. You start noticing doors that were always open, but invisible to your stressed mind. You begin attracting the right people, circumstances, and resources. Not through force, but through a calm confidence that tells the universe you're ready to receive. This isn't about becoming lazy or giving up on your dreams. It's about discovering the difference between effortless action and exhausting struggle. It's about learning to plant seeds with intention and then trusting the soil, the rain, and the sun to do their work. The Stoics called this amarati, love of fate, the deep acceptance that everything unfolds exactly as it should. Today I'm going to share with you 10 profound Stoic principles that will transform how you approach manifestation. These aren't just theories, they're practical wisdom that has been tested by thousands of years of human experience. Each principle will show you how to release the tension that's been blocking your blessings and step into the flow state where miracles become natural. Before we dive deep into this life-changing wisdom, I need you to do something. Hit that like button right now. It tells me you're ready for transformation. If that speaks to you, type this in the comments to anchor it in your heart. When I relax, life flows to me. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. Subscribe to this channel because we're just getting started on this journey together. And please don't skip any part of this video. Number 1, the art of detached desire. Here's the paradox that drives most people crazy. The more desperately you want something, the more it seems to slip away from you. But the Stoics discovered something revolutionary about human desire that modern psychology is only beginning to understand. Epictetus, who went from slave to one of history's greatest philosophers, taught wealth consists in not having great possessions, but in having few wants. This isn't about giving up your dreams. It's about understanding the difference between wanting something and needing it. When you need something, you create desperation. When you want something while being completely okay without it, you create magnetism. Think about the people in your life who seem to effortlessly attract what they want. They're not the ones constantly talking about what they lack or posting desperate affirmations on social media. They're the ones who hold their desires lightly, like a butterfly resting on their palm. They want beautiful things to happen, but they don't define their worth by whether those things arrive on their timeline. This is what the Stoics called preferred indifference. Yes, you prefer to have success, love, and abundance, but your inner peace doesn't depend on them. Your happiness isn't held hostage by external circumstances. This creates a powerful energy that actually draws opportunities toward you, because people and the universe itself are attracted to those who aren't needy. When you practice detached desire, you stop sending out desperate energy that repels what you want. Instead, you begin operating from a place of abundance even before the physical manifestations arrive. You start making decisions from confidence rather than fear. And confident decisions almost always lead to better outcomes. The magic happens when you can say, "I would love for this to happen, and I'm taking inspired action toward it, but I'm genuinely okay if it doesn't happen exactly as I imagine." This isn't giving up. This is growing up. This is understanding that the universe often has something even better in mind than what your limited perspective can see. Practice this today. Hold your biggest desire in your mind. Then take a deep breath and say this or something better. Feel how that releases the pressure and opens up infinite possibilities. Let this one sink into your soul and drop it in the comments if it resonates. I desire with peace, not desperation. Number 2, present moment magnetism. Your mind is probably living everywhere, except where your power actually exists. Right here, right now. Most people spend their days mentally living in a future that hasn't happened yet, or replaying a past that can't be changed. But the Stoics understood something profound. All manifestation happens in the present moment, and when you're not here, you miss the magic. Seneca wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." This isn't just beautiful philosophy. It's practical magic. When your consciousness is fully present, you notice opportunities that your scattered mind would completely miss. You hear the casual comment that leads to your next big break. You feel the intuitive nudge to take a different route home where you bump into exactly the right person. But here's what most people don't understand about presence. It's not just about awareness. It's about energy. When you're truly present, you're operating at your highest vibration. You're not carrying the heavy energy of past regrets or future anxieties. You're pure potential. And that energy is incredibly attractive to both people and circumstances. Think about the most magnetic people you know. They're not the ones constantly checking their phones or talking about what they're going to do someday. They're the ones who look you in the eye when you speak, who seem to have all the time in the world, who make you feel like you're the only person in the room. That's presence, and it's magnetic. The beautiful irony is that when you stop living for the future, you create a better future. When you stop trying to escape this moment becomes the launching pad for everything you've been dreaming of. Opportunities don't exist in tomorrow. They exist in the awareness you bring to today. Your breath is your anchor to the present. Every time you notice your mind wandering into what if, or if only, come back to your breathing. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice 3 things you can see, hear, or feel right now. This isn't meditation. This is manifestation practice. The present moment isn't just where you exist. It's where you create. Stop living in the waiting room of your life and step into the reality where miracles are happening right now. Number 3, the wisdom of accepted resistance. Life is going to give you obstacles. That's not a possibility. That's a guarantee. But here's what separates those who manifest their dreams from those who stay stuck. How you relate to resistance determines whether it becomes your enemy or your teacher. Marcus Aurelius faced plagues, wars, and betrayals. Yet he wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This isn't just poetic language. This is the secret to turning every setback into a setup for something greater. When you stop fighting reality and start dancing with it, resistance becomes your greatest ally. Most people encounter an obstacle and immediately think the universe is working against them. They take it personally, get discouraged, and often give up entirely. But what if every obstacle is actually the universe's way of making you stronger, wiser, and more ready for what you're asking for? Consider the oyster and the pearl. The irritation of sand doesn't destroy the oyster. It creates something beautiful and valuable. Your obstacles aren't punishments. They're invitations to grow into the person who can handle the level of success you're requesting. When you accept resistance instead of resenting it, something magical happens. You stop wasting energy fighting what is, and you start using that energy to navigate through what is. You become like water again, flexible, persistent, and ultimately unstoppable. This doesn't mean you become passive or that you don't take action. It means you take inspired action instead of desperate action. You respond instead of react. You look for the lesson in every challenge and the opportunity in every obstacle. The next time something doesn't go according to your plan, pause and ask, how is this actually serving my highest good? What is this experience trying to teach me? How is this making me stronger for what's coming? Sometimes the delay is protection. Sometimes the detour leads to something better than your original destination. Sometimes the no you receive is clearing the way for a much bigger yes. Trust the process even when you can't see the bigger picture. The universe has a perspective you don't have access to, and it's always working in your favor, even when it doesn't feel that way. Comment this if you're ready to grow through the hard moments. I grow stronger through resistance, not weaker. Number 4, the power of inner authority. Here's a truth that will set you free. You've been giving your power away to everyone and everything around you. And that's exactly why your manifestations feel so out of reach. The Stoics discovered that true manifestation begins the moment you reclaim your inner authority and stop making external circumstances the boss of your internal state. Epictetus taught, "No one can hurt you without your permission." This goes deeper than just emotional resilience. This is about understanding where your real power lives. Every time you say, "I can't be happy until," or "I'll feel successful when," you're essentially handing the keys to your kingdom to someone or something outside of yourself. Think about how exhausting it is to live this way. Your mood depends on other people's opinions. Your confidence rises and falls with your bank account. Your sense of worth fluctuates with external validation. You've turned yourself into a puppet, and circumstances are pulling all your strings. But when you reclaim your inner authority, everything changes. You realize that your peace, your joy, and your sense of abundance are internal decisions, not external conditions. This doesn't mean you become indifferent to outcomes. It means you stop making outcomes responsible for your well-being. This shift creates incredible manifesting power, because you're no longer operating from lack or neediness. When you know you can be happy regardless of circumstances, you make better decisions. When you know your worth isn't determined by external validation, you show up more authentically. When you know your security comes from within, you take bigger, bolder risks. People can sense this inner authority and they're drawn to it. Opportunities flow toward those who aren't desperately chasing them. Success gravitates toward those who don't need it to feel valuable. Start practicing this today. Before you check social media, before you look at your bank account, before you seek validation from others, check in with yourself. Ask, "How do I choose to feel right now, regardless of my circumstances?" Then honor that choice. Your external world will always be a reflection of your internal world. Change the inside and the outside has no choice but to follow. Feel that power rising in you. Share it in the comments. I am the author of my own experience. Number 5, the art of strategic non-action. This might sound contradictory, but sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is absolutely nothing. The Stoics understood something that our action-obsessed culture has forgotten. There's a profound difference between being busy and being effective, between motion and progress, between forced action and aligned action. Lassu, whose philosophy deeply influenced Stoic thought, taught, "The sage does not attempt anything very big and thus achieves greatness. Sometimes your biggest breakthrough comes not from doing more, but from having the wisdom to do less." We live in a culture that equates action with progress, but much of what we call taking action is actually anxiety in disguise. We stay busy because stillness makes us uncomfortable. We keep pushing because we're afraid that if we stop, everything will fall apart. But this frantic energy often pushes away the very things we're trying to attract. Strategic non-action doesn't mean being lazy or giving up on your dreams. It means having the confidence to step back when you've done your part and trust the process to unfold. It means knowing when to plant seeds and when to let them germinate in darkness. It means understanding that some things simply cannot be rushed, no matter how badly you want them. Think about a master chess player. They don't make moves just to be moving pieces. They wait for the right opportunity, even if it means sitting in apparent inaction while their opponent makes hasty moves. Their patience becomes their power, and their restraint becomes their strategy. When you learn the art of strategic non-action, you stop exhausting yourself with busy work that doesn't actually move you forward. You begin to trust your intuition about when to act and when to wait. You discover that sometimes the universe needs space to work its magic, and your job is simply to get out of the way. This week, practice saying, "I don't know when you don't know, and I'll wait when waiting feels right." Notice how this creates space for solutions and opportunities that your forced action was actually blocking. The universe rewards those who can be still enough to receive what it's trying to give them. Number 6, gratitude as a manifesting force. Most people think gratitude is just about being polite or positive, but the Stoics understood something much deeper. Gratitude is actually one of the most powerful manifesting forces in the universe. When you truly appreciate what you already have, you create a magnetic field that draws more abundance into your life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, 'The people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil. But I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and have recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my own.' Even in acknowledging human flaws, he found reasons for gratitude and understanding. Here's what happens energetically when you practice real gratitude. You shift from operating from a mindset of scarcity to operating from a mindset of abundance. Instead of focusing on what's missing, you're acknowledging what's present. Instead of sending out lack energy, you're radiating fullness energy. But this isn't about fake positivity or pretending everything is perfect. True Stoic gratitude acknowledges reality, while choosing to focus on what's working rather than what's broken. It's about finding genuine appreciation for your challenges because they're making you stronger, for your struggles because they're teaching you wisdom, for your setbacks because they're redirecting you towards something better. When you wake up grateful, you start your day in a high vibration state that attracts high vibration experiences. When you go to bed grateful, you program your subconscious mind to look for more things to appreciate. This creates an upward spiral where gratitude leads to more experiences worth being grateful for. The magic isn't just in feeling grateful. It's in expressing gratitude. Tell people how much they mean to you. Write thank you notes for small kindnesses. Acknowledge the beauty in ordinary moments. Appreciate your body for carrying you through life, your breath for sustaining you, your heart for continuing to beat. Gratitude turns what you have into enough, and enough is always the foundation for more. When the universe sees you appreciating what you've already been given, it trusts you with greater gifts. Number 7, the strength of emotional sovereignty. Your emotions are not happening to you, they're being created by you. This single realization contains enough power to transform your entire life. Yet most people spend years giving their emotional state away to circumstances, other people, and random events beyond their control. Seneca taught, "Every new thing excites the mind, but a mind that seeks the truth turns from the new and unknown to the eternal and divine." Your emotional reactions are choices, not inevitable responses. When you understand this, you reclaim the throne of your own experience. Think about two people experiencing the same rejection, the same financial setback, or the same disappointment. One person crumbles and stays stuck for months. The other person feels the emotion fully, learns from it, and uses it as fuel to create something better. The difference isn't in their circumstances. It's in their emotional sovereignty. Emotional sovereignty doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or pretending negative emotions don't exist. It means you feel your emotions fully without letting them drive the car of your life. You acknowledge anger without becoming destructive. You honor sadness without drowning in it. You feel fear without letting it paralyze you. This creates incredible manifesting power because your emotions are literally your creative energy. When you're in control of your emotional state, you're in control of what you're creating. When you can choose peace in the middle of chaos, you become a powerful attractor of peaceful circumstances. When you can find joy regardless of your current situation, you magnetize joyful experiences. The practice is simple but not easy. When you feel a strong emotion, pause and ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to tell me? What can I learn from this? How can I use this energy constructively? Then make a conscious choice about how long you'll stay in that emotional state and what you'll do with the energy it provides. Your emotions are meant to be messengers, not masters. They're designed to give you information and energy, not to control your decisions or determine your destiny. When you master your emotional world, you master your manifesting power. Say it with confidence in the comments if you're stepping into your emotional power. My emotions exist, but they do not control me. Number 8, the philosophy of enough. In a world that constantly tells you that you need more to be happy, the Stoics discovered a revolutionary secret. The feeling of enough is not about how much you have. It's about how you relate to what you have. When you master the philosophy of enough, you unlock a level of contentment and power that no external acquisition can provide. Seneca, one of the wealthiest men in Rome, wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more who is poor." This wasn't coming from someone who didn't understand material success. This was coming from someone who had everything the world said should make him happy, yet found his deepest fulfillment in something entirely different. The philosophy of enough doesn't mean settling for less or giving up on your dreams. It means recognizing that your happiness and sense of abundance aren't dependent on getting more stuff, more recognition, or more validation. It means understanding that the feeling you think you'll get from achieving your goals is actually available to you right now in this moment with what you already have. Here's the paradox that changes everything. When you genuinely feel like you have enough, you stop operating from desperation and start operating from abundance. And abundance energy attracts abundant experiences. When you're not grasping for more, more comes to you naturally. Think about the most attractive people in your life. Not physically attractive, but energetically attractive. They're not the ones constantly complaining about what they lack or obsessing over what they want. They're the ones who seem genuinely content with their lives while still being excited about growth and new experiences. This contentment isn't complacency. It's confidence. It's the deep knowing that you're already whole, already valuable, already enough, regardless of what you achieve or acquire. From this foundation, you can pursue your dreams from love rather than fear, from excitement rather than desperation. Practice this before you go to sleep tonight. Mentally inventory everything you have to be grateful for. Your health, your relationships, your opportunities, your experiences. Really feel how rich your life already is. This is the energy that creates miracles. Let's flood the comments with this truth. If you're done chasing and ready to receive, I am enough and I attract from that place. Number 9, the courage of authentic expression. One of the biggest blocks to manifestation is living a life that isn't authentically yours. When you're constantly trying to be who others expect you to be, when you're hiding your true thoughts and feelings, when you're playing roles that don't fit your soul, you create internal resistance that blocks the flow of your desires into reality. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself how much trouble he avoids who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does. The courage to be authentically yourself regardless of others' opinions isn't just about personal freedom. It's about manifestation power. When you're not being authentic, you're essentially lying to the universe about who you are and what you want. How can life give you what's truly meant for you if you're not showing up as who you truly are? How can the right opportunities find you if you're hiding behind a mask? Authentic expression doesn't mean being rude or inconsiderate. It means having the courage to speak your truth with kindness, to pursue what genuinely excites you rather than what you think should excite you, to make decisions based on your values rather than others' expectations. The beautiful thing about authenticity is that it naturally attracts what's meant for you and repels what isn't. When you stop trying to please everyone, you start attracting people who genuinely appreciate the real you. When you stop chasing goals that aren't truly yours, you start manifesting experiences that actually fulfill you. This takes courage because authentic living means some people won't understand you. Some opportunities might not be for you, and some paths you thought you wanted might not actually align with who you're becoming. But this isn't loss. This is liberation. Your authentic self is your most powerful self because it's the only self that can create a life that truly satisfies your soul. Everything you're meant to have is attracted to the real you, not the version of you that's trying to fit in or meet others' expectations. Start today. In one conversation, tell the truth about how you really feel. In one decision, choose what you actually want rather than what you think you should want. Notice how this shifts your energy and opens up new possibilities. Number 10, trust in divine timing. The final and perhaps most profound Stoic principle for manifestation is learning to trust in divine timing. The understanding that everything unfolds exactly when it's meant to, not when you think it should. This isn't passive waiting. This is active faith in the intelligence of the universe. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you and love the people with whom fate brings you together." The Stoics believed in a rational, purposeful universe where everything happens for a reason, even when that reason isn't immediately clear to our limited human perspective. Your impatience is often your biggest enemy in manifestation. When you demand that things happen on your timeline, you create resistance against the natural flow of events. You miss opportunities because you're so focused on forcing one particular outcome. You reject good things because they don't look exactly like what you ordered. But when you trust divine timing, you relax into a rhythm that's much larger and wiser than your personal agenda. You understand that delays aren't denials. They're often divine protection or preparation. Sometimes you need to grow into the person who can handle what you're asking for. Sometimes the world needs to shift to create the perfect conditions for your manifestation. Think about the best things that have happened in your life. How many of them occurred exactly when you expected them to? Probably very few. Most of your greatest blessings likely came as surprises through unexpected paths at times when you weren't even looking for them. This doesn't mean you stop taking action or setting goals. It means you hold your goals lightly, while trusting that life has a bigger plan than what you can see from your current vantage point. It means you do your part with dedication, while surrendering the outcome with grace. When you trust divine timing, you stop exhausting yourself trying to control everything. You stop missing the beauty of the present moment because you're so anxious about the future. You start noticing the magic that's happening right now, instead of waiting for the magic you think should happen tomorrow. The universe is always working in your favor, even when it doesn't feel that way. Your job is to align with this truth and let it carry you toward your highest good. The ancient Stoics didn't have vision boards or manifestation journals, but they understood something that modern self-help often misses. True manifestation isn't about getting what you want. It's about becoming who you need to be to receive what's meant for you. When you relax into these 10 principles, detached desire, present moment awareness, accepted resistance, inner authority, strategic non-action, gratitude, emotional sovereignty, the philosophy of enough, authentic expression, and divine timing, you stop fighting against life and start flowing with it. This isn't about giving up your dreams or lowering your standards. This is about raising your consciousness to a level where miracles become natural, where synchronicities become common, where what you need finds you instead of you chasing what you want. The Stoics knew that peace isn't the absence of challenges. It's the presence of wisdom. And wisdom applied consistently creates the conditions for everything good to flow into your life. Your manifestations are already on their way. Your job is simply to relax, trust, and become ready to receive them. Remember to like this video. Share it with someone who needs this message. To seal this message and call peace into your life, comment, "I relax, I trust, and I receive," and subscribe to this channel for more life-changing wisdom. Until next time, stay stoic, stay strong, and stay open to miracles.